Over the weekend, Tesla had limited its unlimited supercharging. I'll tell you more about this coming up next. Welcome to E4Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything moving forward. And of course, thank you to all of my Patreons, like one of my newer ones, Ken Greenberg, for supporting this channel. If you want to do that, go ahead and browse to the description of this video. There's a link there. Okay, so supercharging. Now, you know, in the good old days, in the beginning couple of years, in 2-3 years, in the beginning, Tesla was giving out free unlimited supercharging. And it was not that big of a deal because I think 2013 there was basically just a corridor in California between San Francisco and Los Angeles. But then the network had grown just like the brand, and it kind of became a must. You know, I've argued for many years that this is the best feature, the most advanced and most competitive feature for Tesla. Now, of course, with Electrify America growing here in the United States and Ionity that just hit their 100th site in Europe, that advantage is going to be going away in another, basically by the end of the year. But, you know, a lot of people who bought Teslas, including myself, thought that was a pretty cool feature. Then they started limiting that to just the first owner, right? So you get your first brand new Tesla, and then you enjoy that benefit. But once you sell it to somebody else, that's over. And then, as you know, after that, as part of the referral program, they've been offering this on different types. I believe right now by the for the rest of the month, for the inventory Model S and Model X cars, you get the free unlimited supercharging once again, but it's limited to the first owner. Now, what happened over the weekend, and I saw some people posting in my Facebook group first, and then I guess Tesla confirmed to Electric and then other outlets over the weekend that, well, apparently they decided to limit that. And so let me tell you about it a little bit, because it does make sense, but of course, it just goes against this whole free unlimited supercharging. All right, so let me tell you what happened, and this is the message that people end up seeing in their on their displays when they try to supercharge. So Tesla picked 17% of its supercharging locations specifically because I believe these are the busiest locations, and they said, okay, we're going to limit how far you can charge your battery there, just so you can basically get the hell out of there and then let other people charge, to 80%. Now, as we know, that the slowest charging happens between 80 and 100%, really 90 and 100%, and you know, sometimes 20-30 minutes you can take to go from 80 to 100 depending on the rate. So they pick 17% of those, and then 8% and 9%, they kind of split it between that. So the 8% are going to have this limit all the time, and 9% are going to have this limit during the busy times. So you know, it's kind of funny that there's more, and I'll tell you a little bit more details, but it's kind of funny because this has been a problem. You know, the lines at the superchargers has been a problem in the last, 2 years ago, I would say. But lately, even though, Model 3s are being made at the ridiculous rate, I have not heard or seen this happen. And I think I visited quite a few superchargers in the last year. And obviously, I approve all of the postings on my Facebook group. And I don't see a single complaint right now that there is a line for any specific location, especially in the San Francisco Bay Area where they've been the busiest. So, if they would have implemented this two years ago, I could understand. And, it would make sense. But right now, I don't know. Maybe they're seeing more demand, but I don't. And I'm not hearing reports really. So that's, maybe they know something we don't, but there is more to it. So before we go any further, let me remind you really quickly that this video and this channel is sponsored by Byte, and check out the all-electric Byte and SUV called M-Byte, coming to the US and Europe next year, starting at only $45,000. Over 50,000 people have made their reservations. There's no reason why you shouldn't as well. It's free and it takes about 60 seconds to do that. So browse to the description of this video and reserve your Byton today. There you have nothing to lose, and it's an amazing car. So I am one of the reservation holders. Okay, so let's talk about the the message and other things, and why Tesla really, let's talk about why Tesla really implemented this. They're saying that because the V2, the version 2 superchargers, which is pretty much most of them right now, are now faster, right? They've been updating them, and because of this limit being implemented, they believe they can decrease the throughput, or increase, I should say, by 34%, right? So 34% more cars will be going through their superchargers, and therefore people won't have to wait. Now, there is an exception, right? Because there are some people who have a 60 kilowatt Teslas, and they can go as far as the ones that I'm making right now. So what if you're on a trip and you know that the next supercharger is within the reach, but only if you charge 100%, right? 80% might just get you in trouble, because don't forget, a lot of this travel happens in tough weather, whether it's cold or windy. Wind can do wonders. Wind can take off 10 or 20% off of your battery range, just if it's strong enough, right? Or if it's wind with rain or wind with snow. So that can really, like, I've seen my range, and I'm in California, go down by 40% off of the EPA range. So it's no joke, right? So some people can be really left, stranded. But it is an exception that Tesla is making. So if you are on a planned trip, right? So you have a trip in your navigation system, and your Tesla already figure out which superchargers you need to be supercharging at, and you come to the one that's limited like this, it will still allow you to charge to, I believe, it 100%, or the percentage that it believes you need to get to the next one. A lot of times, even that estimate is being, not a lot of times, most of the times, I've noticed that estimate is being pretty generous, right? So you would really have to be, going at the 60 miles, 65 miles an hour, again, more for the perfect conditions. So I'm not really sure how they're going to be estimating it, if they'll, loosen up, give it a little bit of a wiggle room, but at least we know that there will be an exception for that. And this is a picture, by the way. Some of the supercharger locations. This is the busiest one in the world. I believe this is in San Mateo, California. I took this myself. I think that one of those cars is mine. But basically, they have a valet, right? Just like if you've ever been to the Mountain View Supercharger next to the Computer History Museum, where the annual shareholder meetings are held. They a lot of times have the same thing, where the valet manages the cars, and a lot of times I believe they're also not allowed to charge 100%. So this was kind of manual, but now it's kind of automated policy that they have. Now, the policy is good. If you ask me, they should have done this a couple of years ago when this was really a problem. And if there's a problem coming on, then or they've determined that this has been a problem, even partially in those 17% of locations, that I applaud. That's great. But once again, whenever they're trying to improve something, right, whether it's doing this or decreasing prices, they kind of end up screwing some of their existing customers. And in this case, imagine you bought a car, and you bought your Tesla, and it says it's unlimited supercharging. And, this weekend you're being told, guess what? Your unlimited supercharging is now limited. Obviously, you may not be happy about it. As a matter of fact, let me know, guys, if you're in that situation, what do you think? On one hand, you might have to wait less time, or not wait at all when you get to a supercharger. On another hand, it's an expense of the feature that you believe you paid for and was promised to you by Tesla. Let me know what you think, but meanwhile, get on our VIP list, where we feature exclusive content there. Usually we send out on every Saturday an article about a story that we don't cover here on our YouTube channel or our website, so it's exclusive to our newsletter. And we're now running deals of the month. The current one continues with the lighted tea, one of the most popular products on Avanex.com. They have a 50% off discount right now, but if you sign up for our newsletter, you'll get another 50% off with the discount code that we'll send to you guys. All right, I'm looking for your comments, especially if you're in a situation of the unlimited but limited superchargers now. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.